Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. I think by now all of us have become familiar with the basics of sports betting. A sports book gives you the game, they tell you what the odds are, they tell you what the spread is, and they provide you with the total so you can place your bet. Well, something new is out there in the sports betting world, and it's called Better Edge. It's not your traditional sportsbook. It's what the founders are calling a social betting marketplace. We're going to find out all about this incredible new platform when we talk to its CEOs and founders, Greg Kieski and James Siles. When we come back, we're going to talk about something new and exciting in the world of sports betting. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Why, you cheap crook, stealing a baby's bank.
It's only a lend-lease. I figured to bet on the 50 to 1 shot and double the baby's money.
Why, you imbecile. Why don't you pick 100 to 1 shot and triple it?
Oh, okay.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. I'm excited to talk to our next guests because they are bringing something new and exciting to the sports betting industry. The name of the company is Better Edge, and it's a social betting marketplace. We're going to find out what that is and all about Better Edge when we talk to its CEOs and founders, Greg Kieski and James Siles, who's on the line with us right now. Greg and James, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I got to tell you, thank you so much for coming on, because Better Edge, I think, is one of the most innovative concepts in sports betting industry. How did this company come into being?
Yeah, so this is James. So Greg and I are originally from Iowa. Our backgrounds are in accounting and mine in computer science. And I spent about 10 years in the consulting space with working with IT departments across Fortune 500 companies in the fintech and retail. And really I love sports betting. I did it with my college friends all the time. Unfortunately, lived in states where the traditional ways to sports bet weren't legal. So we had to sort of create our own ecosystem amongst our friends to kind of bet against each other. And, I started building little apps in Excel and then gradually taking them into web apps and mobile apps. And I started to realize that, some of the industry just knowns within sports betting just were kind of continuing on that status quo path.
Yeah.
While in fintech and retail, we were seeing, these revenue models completely change for the benefit of the customer. And so really I started looking at, online brokers and fintech and how 10 years ago, you were charged a fee to make a trade.
Sure.
And why hasn't that happened in sports betting, right? They're still charging a VIG. And so really taking that concept to what we were doing with my college friends and trying to figure out, well, how do we do this without a fee, scale it? And that was really the original story of how we kind of came up with the concept of Better Edge. I went and actually pitched it to Greg. The original concept, he made it a lot better. We did an innovation challenge a couple of years ago and won. And that actually started the creation of the company and the application itself.
You know, I always find it interesting how people become involved in the sports betting industry and really how they change the business when they do get involved. When you both looked at the betting industry, what made you think that Better Edge would do well in it? Was there something that the traditional sports books were doing that made you think that Better Edge could provide customers something that was lacking in the sports betting industry?
Yeah, and I think the big thing there is we just have a huge passion for innovation. Mm-hmm. So the innovation that we saw in the fintech space of not having transaction fees worked well for Robinhood, Webull, all kinds of different platforms. And that's really changed the way that people trade and made it more accessible to everyone. Mm-hmm. And then you're starting to see newer startups really focused in the fintech space around social and being able to allow for you to follow other people's investment advice and take action with them. And really, when we analyze the consumers in the sports betting space, we really saw that a lot of different users or consumers really wanted that social component as well. Mm-hmm. So with our platform, not only do you have the transparency of having what other people are betting and you get it with no fees, you can also you can back, you can fade kind of different individuals who are betting within the community. Mm-hmm. That allows for just a much better experience for the consumers, which we're really excited about thus far. And we're continuing to see a lot of adoption and growth with that theory as well. Mm-hmm.
Now, I used a term that I guess is pretty new to a lot of people out there who are listening. You called Better Edge a social betting marketplace. What exactly is a social betting marketplace, and how does it differ from traditional sports books?
Yeah, so with a marketplace, what you end up doing is you can go out there and set your price and put that out there to the community, and it acts very much like a stock market. So if you wanted to buy Apple stock today, if you wanted to put a limit order in at 100, you could put that in, and if somebody else wants to sell it for 100, a match would occur, and that would go back out, and you would have a purchase of Apple stock. On our platform, instead of it being Apple stock, you're leveraging, do you want the Celtics to win or do you want the Warriors to win? Somebody else in the world takes the opposite side of that particular transaction, and we match you taking no fees in that as well. Whereas with the sports book, they're typically taking action on both sides.
Yep.
They take 100 on the Celtics and 100 on the Warriors. They're only paying out 190. And so with Better Edge, you get all $200 of that paid back out.
Now, James, it said on your website, and you guys mentioned it before, you can bet against others with no fee. I'm sure that catches a lot of people's attention in the sports betting industry. When you say no fee, what do you mean? And really, if there's no fee, how are you guys making any money with this?
Yeah, so no fee means exactly what it says. So we don't charge a VIG, which is a known concept in the industry, which is kind of like a hidden fee, really.
Yeah.
And they've done a really good job of marketing that as a VIG and not a fee, when at the end of the day, it is a fee. And it actually makes it impossible to win at sports betting unless you're winning around 53% of the time, because you're getting charged that fee on all of your bets. We don't charge a VIG. We also don't mask a VIG as a commission either. We don't charge any commissions that you'll see at maybe exchanges. So every dollar in our marketplace from our users goes back to our users. We also don't charge fees on deposits and withdrawals. So when you look at, competitors, when you're really putting in $100 to do your sports betting, you're losing a lot of that money on these little fees on the transactions and the deposits and the withdrawals. So we don't charge any of that. And
okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa! I think we got a show. Oh, yeah, we got a show. We definitely got a show. Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by the Life Hack Pack from More Labs. Unlock your best self with the Life Hack Pack from More Labs. The Life Hack Pack contains 2 bottles of Morning Recovery, 2 bottles of Dreamwell, and 2 bottles of Liquid Focus. The Life Hack Pack is specially designed to help you live your life not just better, but smarter. Use promo code Radio15 at morelabs.com to get 15% off your first purchase of the Life Hack Pack or any of their other great products. That's promo code Radio15 to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off your first purchase at morelabs.com. You can finally do it all with help from More Labs. For those of you just joining us, I'm talking with the CEOs and founders of Better Edge, Greg Kajewski and James Siles. Sorry about that. Radio has to do its business, you know. Why don't you continue what you were saying before the break?
The way we make money is we are looking at it as, you know, we're really a tech company at the end of the day. We're just a platform that provides features and value to our users. So the nice thing with us being a platform that doesn't take a side, we don't really care if our users win or lose. We just want them to know that we want to make sure that they're having a good time and that they come back. Because our revenue model is we sell, you know, advertising. We have premium features where you can, you know, pay monthly or pay on a microtransaction basis to get access to additional data, additional features in our social feed. We also have other ancillary revenue models like other tech companies would around external data, APIs, stuff like that. So all of the money that we make, our goal is to make it not be at the detriment of our consumers, and instead make it more like modern tech companies and social media companies and how they make money.
I think you made a lot of fans with that answer. Boy, that is something that you don't see in the sports betting industry a lot. I'm curious, Greg, why don't you take this one? I know sportsbooks need to get licensed to operate in states. Is that the same procedure for a social betting marketplace? Did you have to go to different states and get permission to operate in there?
Yeah, so if you look at a lot of the innovation James talked about, so we went first when we started this company, worked with industry experts on the legal side and really said what is occurring in this business model. And if you think about it, you know, there's no room for getting licensed as a sports book when you're not a sports book. And there's other industries as well that licensing doesn't necessarily fit our business model. So when we launched in Minnesota first, we reached out to legislators, gambling control board members in the state of Minnesota and said, here's our business model, here's what we're doing. And, you know, one of my favorite calls was I explained what Better Edge is. And the legislator came back to me and said, that's awesome. So you're legal. I totally get it. It makes sense. And that was just a huge, you know, valid point of we've done all this work in this space and people get it back quickly and jump to it. So we've continued to go to market in the Midwest and push that further and continue to work closely with different legislation and different boards, help them understand how our business model works and why it's different than the legacy type systems out there.
Do you find it challenging talking to regulators and legislators and trying to explain what a social betting marketplace is? I know sports betting is new around the country, and they might not be familiar with different, you know, aspects of sports betting. Is it more of a challenge to talk about what a social betting marketplace is?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a challenge there in just getting people up to speed on kind of what's available in the industry. You know, we've looked a lot to other industries, whether it's fintech or even Uber. You know, Uber came to market as a, you know, technology company, and you think it's kind of a taxi company. They don't have any taxis. They don't own any cars. All of that is, you know, very similar to kind of how we look at the market. And then in addition to that, we've also looked to the UK. You know, the UK has a completely different structure in how they approach and tackle exchanges and different kind of sports betting marketplaces where you're not actually taking any risk, where you're not actually setting prices, all those things. So we definitely want to work with all the different states and make sure they help understand where we fit in this and help kind of carve out a new industry. And I think you look back towards 2015 and what DFS did. DFS had a huge role in really defining that industry, and I think we can have a huge opportunity to do that going forward as well.
James, what states are you in right now? From looking at your website, betteredge.com, it looks like you're operating in a majority of the states in the U.S.
Yeah, that's correct. So I think we're at 45 that we allow access to the real money portion of our platform. And then the 5 we currently don't, based on just our legal opinion and just the individual state laws that are in those states.
Now, I mentioned your website, betteredge.com, and it's just loaded with information. Walk us through the website. What can people expect to find when they go to your website, and how do people get involved with Better Edge?
Yeah, so we have a web app, so it's a progressive web app. So when you sign up on Better Edge, it takes just a couple of minutes. And then if you do want, so we actually are one of the only platforms that actually has two sort of versions of the application. So you can sign up, not verify your identity and do any of that, and actually play in our demo mode, which gets users used to the concept of a social betting marketplace because it is different than your traditional sports books. And so there are some concepts and terms that may not be super familiar to the traditional sports bettor. So you can get on there, you can play around in demo mode. We call them edge coins. They're really just for practice. But then once you verify your identity and, give us access to your location, you can get on there and start using it with real money. And so it's pretty simple to sign up and get verified. It takes, I think our quickest one we've seen is about a minute and a half, all the way through the whole process. So, it's really easy. You just go to betteredge.com and then you click sign up from there.
So, Greg, what sports does Better Edge cover, and what types of bets are offered, and what can your customers expect to see? What kind of bets can they place on betteredge.com?
Yeah, so today we have your spread, winner, total markets, as well as different player markets. You can access those across NBA, NHL, MLB, PGA. Right now, those are in WNBA as well. Obviously, those are in season. We also have EPL, UFC, NFL, NCAA football.
Wow. Okay.
Majority is kind of your bigger sports that you'd want to be able to go out there and bet on. Individuals are able to dive in and check it out.
James, tell us about the lines and the odds and how they're set on Better Edge. I mean, what is that process like? What can customers expect to see from the lines and the odds that are being offered? And since it's kind of a peer-to-peer betting, do customers have some say in what the odds that are posted?
Yeah, absolutely. So it operates, like Greg had mentioned, like a stock market. So the prices that are shown, we never set them as a company.
Okay.
We simply take what we call as the last trade price. So if you put an order out there and say, we've got the stock market concepts like market order, limit order, but let's say you put an order out there for tomorrow's NBA Finals game where you like Boston at minus 130 to win the game. And since we have no VIG, the other side of that would be the Warriors at plus 130. And if you trade with another user or multiple users, that minus 130 will be the visible price that is shown in the platform until a new trade occurs. And if it's at a different price, the price will change. And so that's the visible price is based on all of our marketplace activity. We do understand that there may be lower volume markets where prices may not, maybe the last trade price is a little outdated. And so we do actually bring in about 10 different external prices. So whether that's sports books or we have data analytic providers that kind of generate their own what a price would be based on previous data. And we do give that access to all of our users at their fingertips. So you can quickly say, all right, I see Better Edge's last trade is minus 130. What does, a sportsbook say? And you can click a button and see what the sportsbook says for that same bet type. And that allows our users to get maybe a little more information on the prices that they want to put into the platform.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of June 13, 2022. Caesars Sportsbook and Naira Bets launched a horse racing betting app. The new app, called Caesars Racebook, utilizes the platform of Naira Bets, the official betting site of the New York Racing Association, allowing customers to bet on races from 250 tracks around the world. The new app is only available in Florida and Ohio, but Caesars and Naira Bets plan to expand to other states later this year. Smoking at table games at casinos in Rhode Island is now banned. Table game players are now forbidden to light up while playing table games at Bally's Tiverton and Twin River Lincoln casinos, the only casinos located in the Ocean State. The ban comes as a result of casino workers expressing health concerns from secondhand smoke on the gaming floor. Smoking was banned in the casinos when they reopened after the pandemic, but was allowed again in March of this year. And finally, at this year's World Series of Poker, you'll have a chance to win some of Phil Ivey's action. Virtue Poker announced that it is dropping some NFTs, which would allow one owner to win 5% of Phil Ivey's action in the $50,000 WSOP Players Championship. Anyone who purchases an NFT from Virtue Poker by June 22nd will be entered into a drawing for the stake in Ivey's action. Sounds like an interesting promotion. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Your Majesty, the royal wrestlers await.
I'll bet on the little guy. How much? 3,000 guineas, 2 geese, and a duck. That's a foul bet.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. For those of you just joining us, I'm talking with the CEOs and founders of Better Edge, Greg Kajewski and James Siles. What are some of the features that people can find on the app? Because I looked at it, and you have some features that the traditional sports books don't have. I mean, it's really great with that, what people can see on the app, like tracking their bets and things like that. What can people expect from the app?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the coolest things that I like about what we're doing is we're just connecting two users within the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And that allows for us to really change the way that we give you service. So one of the things you talked about is analytics. So we want all of our bettors to be informed not only about what's happening in current market conditions, but we also want them to be informed about how their history of betting occurs. So if you're winning more in NHL or winning more in NBA, we have analytics and reports that you can leverage to be able to see that and say, here's where I'm making the most money and getting the most ROI, and here's where I'm losing money. So analytics is a huge part of kind of how we see this playing out. Additionally with that as well, the whole brand of Better Edge is, what do you need as a consumer to have that better experience, better opportunity? And we see the social side as a huge opportunity for, following other bettors in the space to say they're winning at 55%. I want to see what it is that they're betting so that I can win alongside of them as well. So a lot of social components like that, so you can follow others. We have a Better Edge score in there, which allows for us to drive transparency across how people are doing within the platform. And that takes into account risk, win percent, all kinds of different things that really kind of give that transparency of how everybody's doing within the platform.
One of the things when we started the company, we were like, it's a strange thing in the industry where if I buy and sell Apple stock and I'm seeing that the price is $1,000, like the equivalent of the sports betting would be that the New York Stock Exchange is just telling me that the price is $1,000 with no transparency into the trades that have happened to make that price $1,000. And so one of the things we wanted to make sure we did was, hey, we're going to make everything transparent that's been traded. So if you go into an individual market like tomorrow's game, you'll see every single trade that has occurred in that market and show you why and how that price has moved the way it's moved. And with no manipulation from us. It's all based on the marketplace. And so you have confidence that, 1,000 people have bought the Celtics at minus 130, so I'm good with that. While in the traditional way, all of that data is hidden behind the operators' walls because their revenue models are based on the fact that they need to get in the money on those positions. So that was one of our big things, and that's what you'll see as well on the platform.
You know, I love the concept of Better Edge. I mean, you're actually building a community of sports bettors, and I think it's a great idea, and you're offering what traditional sports books don't offer to their customers. Greg, what has been the reaction from your customers to Better Edge?
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of growth over the last year. We launched marketing going into the NFL playoffs of 2021, and we've seen volume skyrocket over 600% growth, since then.
Wow.
Month over month, having really good numbers. And then even once consumers jump onto our platform, we're seeing north of 75% retention after a user places an order. So I think a lot of those numbers really give us a lot of validity in the fact that people like this transparent experience. They like to be able to social bet. They like getting the best price. And then, we're doing a lot of cool things around charity as well that I think really helps people feel good about what they're doing when they come back and leverage Better Edge.
Well, what's the most popular sport, in your opinion, that people bet on Better Edge? I mean, it seems like the bettors have more of a say in the betting that goes on your platform. So, in your opinion, both of you can answer this. What has been the most popular sport that people have bet on?
Yeah, football is definitely king. It's always been king. So your NFL and college football. I think what we were surprised by, though, is after the Super Bowl, we definitely expected a dip. Just maybe not a dip, but a slow in growth, just because the Super Bowl is obviously a massive betting day. But we actually saw a huge jump with college basketball.
Oh, okay.
And from a popularity standpoint, that was probably our number one volume sport, just given the number of games and March Madness. And honestly, one of the crazy things is everyone looks at March Madness as this big betting thing. The conference tournaments leading up to March Madness were almost just as big for us. So
really?
That was really fun to see as well, yeah.
All right, I want to know what's the most interesting thing that someone can bet on Better Edge. I'm asking this because I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and on July 4th, for some reason, everyone puts money on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. By the way, my bet is the same every year, Joey Chestnut and the over. But do people bet on things like that for Better Edge, or do you like the hot dog eating contest or the Oscars, or do you guys need to get permission to allow people to bet on things like that? What has been the most interesting bet so far on Better Edge?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we haven't done Nathan's hot dogs, but we do get a lot of different custom fun things on there. So we've had a lot of your Super Bowl items and coin toss, Gatorade color. And we've done some very specific local things to the Minneapolis market. So every Friday there's an initials game that you can go out there and you can bet on who's going to win that on the radio show. So
cool.
Driving that integration into media. We've even had watch parties before where we've had users do over-under on how fast they can hit it, a hockey puck based on miles per hour. So really try to do some local fun things. And I think as we continue to grow and scale, we'll continue to look at adding a lot of those different options as well, just to really make it quite fun for the community.
Not only do I love the fact that you're creating a sports betting community, but you're also giving back to the community through charity, as you mentioned. What are some of the charities that Better Edge is involved with? Yeah,
so this last year, we started in February or March, and after 9-10 months, we actually ended up giving a $10,000 check to Chad Greenway's Lead the Way Foundation. And that came about because every time you place a $100 bet on our platform, you're actually saving $4 or $5, $6 over going to a traditional or legacy model. And so we'll actually show you that after you make your bet and say you save $5 on this. Do you want to donate that to charity? And so we saw almost 30% of our community donate back to charity. We were able to give that back to Chad Greenway, which helps support the Children's Hospital.
That's great.
In Minnesota, as well as across Iowa, South Dakota. So we're extremely passionate about giving back. We just recently signed on Joy Taylor Foundation as well. So Joy Taylor helps support children across various different cities, Miami, LA, as well. So we're really excited about having her on board to help give back to that charity as well.
James, in terms of growth, what is Better Edge focusing in on in the coming year? I know Canada just recently launched their sports betting industry. Do you think Better Edge in Canada can be a possibility in the future?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not in our short-term vision. I think, when we launched and we've sort of held true to this, we really wanted to, launch locally, which we did in our home state of Minnesota, begin to grow nationally, which is sort of the the section we're in now. So we're going out to strategic states and launching marketing in those states within the U.S. And then eventually we'd like to expand globally, but that's not in our probably 12-month plan right now. It's really to get a foothold here in the U.S. to start, and then look at our options to launching globally.
Greg, every week you hear about media deals in the sports betting industry. Is that something Better Edge is looking to do or is doing right now, making deals with media outlets?
Yeah, so we do a lot of different things with various podcasts on our platform. And we've done it really from a groundswell type experience of getting people on board. So we're talking on the podcast about your upcoming bets. You can also bet those on Better Edge. People can find those, track those, see how you're doing, and then be able to bet alongside of you, which I think is a really unique offering that podcasts are able to leverage to actually be able to bet with your listeners and compete with them. And there's leaderboards, all kinds of different things. You can see how you're doing against them. I think, as we continue to grow, there's a lot of opportunity for us to deliver media and content in a very unique way with our social feed. So as users are betting on, the Yankees-Twins game, they're able to then see content and media that is pertinent and relevant to, allowing them to make a better decision. We can serve that up to them based off a very customized experience in their history as well. So we're definitely looking to expand kind of how we can give a better product offering to consumers, and media is going to be a huge part of that strategy as well.
One of the things I see traditional sports books doing is making deals with the professional sport leagues and the colleges and universities. James, do you see deals like that in the future for Better Edge? Because they always talk about fan engagement, and you can't have more fan engagement than what you're doing on Better Edge.
Yeah, we definitely do. So from a tech standpoint, I take pride in the fact that we were able to build this from scratch. And so we are pretty much top of the line from being horizontally scalable. And so any integration that we want to do with a sports team and their tech department on getting customer engagement higher with the use of our platform will be pretty seamless and flexible. So we are excited about that, and we have been in talks with some teams. We just haven't really pulled the trigger on anyone yet, but I would expect to see us doing something like that over the next 12 months.
Great. Let me ask you something. I'm sitting here in New Jersey. We have about 25 online sports books, and a lot of them offer the same thing. I mean, believe me, I read their commercials every week. Do you think the uniqueness of Better Edge will make you really stand out in a crowded market like New Jersey or Pennsylvania or Nevada? James, what do you think?
Yeah, I do. And I go back to, this isn't a winner-take-all industry in my mind, and especially as we get the ease of, making a sports bet across different models, right? You're going to have your traditional sports books. They're going to be there. They're going to fill a need. You're going to have marketplaces like ours build up and fill a need. And when you look at, like, for example, crypto is a great example of an exchange model where, you didn't have a winner take all. There's tons of exchanges out there. And what people end up doing is they create multiple accounts, they price shop, right? So if I wanted to buy a Bitcoin on one exchange, it may be priced at, 20,000 on another, it's at 19,800. And so I definitely feel the same concept is going to be applied in sports betting. And it already kind of is. It's a little difficult right now because you either got to go to an affiliate, see the prices, go to the book that you want, buy it because it's cheaper. But once this all gets integrated, which I do think it will be, I mean, we have no commission or fee. So at the end of the day, if we're in a state with 25 operators and you can get 10 to win 10 on our platform while everyone else is offering 10 to win 9, as long as the ease of use is there and the quickness of it, why not? Why won't people go and make more money on their bet? And so that's really our vision of the crowded states. And why we think we'll definitely be able to operate there.
Greg, give us a snapshot of the coming year. Where do you see Better Edge in the near future?
Yeah, great question. I think we're going to continue to double down on where we're having success. So really finding those communities that care about, betting alongside their groups, betting alongside their friends. We'll continue to push marketing in different states where users are able to leverage our platform, whether that's, doubling down in Florida, looking at Texas, California. There's a lot of people that are really interested in getting their hands on a platform like ours to allow for them to be able to bet without fees. So pretty excited about really just getting more users, more growth, and then obviously continuing to innovate on the platform. So you're going to see a lot of new features, functionality that just continue to make it easier for people to share their positions, share what they believe is going to happen in the markets for listeners to engage with. So pretty excited about really all of that, and I think we'll continue to see the numbers continue to grow throughout this year as well.
Guys, we're running out of time, but can you give out your website so people can check out Better Edge and register and download the app?
Yep. Go to betteredge.com, and if you click on join, you can use the code CARDS, and you'll get a free $20 when you sign up as well. So happy to give that out to all your listeners. I appreciate you guys having us on, and anybody looking to check us out, feel free to shoot us over a message or any information on feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys and love to hear how your experience goes.
Greg Kajewski and James Siles, CEO and founders of Better Edge, thank you for coming on and telling us all about Better Edge and for bringing something unique and exciting to the sports betting industry. Please come back on and keep us updated on Better Edge. Thanks so much for talking with us.
We'd love to. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards.
People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beat the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to another edition of Beating the House, where we're going to crisscross the country talking about the various casino jackpots, lottery jackpots, keno, bingo, slot machines, table games, bad beats, you name it. If it won some money, we're going to talk about it.
Have we had bingo in a while?
I think we had bingo 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yes. All right. And yeah, it's not a big game.
No.
In terms of, you don't see too many press releases on
high
bingo.
rollers aren't flying into casinos for the hot bingo action.
And for any high roller bingo people, we apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, there's a lot of bingo games out there.
Sure, yeah.
We don't see too many press releases on major wins. In
you don't
bingo.
see too many whales playing bingo.
No. We're going to start off this week with a couple of Nevada jackpots.
Okay.
Going to start off at the Golden Gate Casino, Las Vegas. And this is the largest jackpot of the week.
Okay.
That we're going to be talking about.
Starting off with the big one.
Yes. As a matter of fact, before I get too far into this, keep the press releases coming in, and we'll keep doing this segment. Please, we love learning about what games are paying out, where these casinos are actually located sometimes. And, it's fun to see exactly who's winning what. Okay, Golden Gate Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. We've got a slot player hitting a jackpot over $1 million. We've got a player hitting $1.342 million on a Wheel of Fortune machine at Golden Gate.
Wow.
They did not say which variation of the Wheel of Fortune game there was.
How many are there? I mean, there's over
There's over 50.
50, really?
Yes,
Oh,
there's over
unbelievable.
50. And that's including both online and brick and mortar. Brick and mortar has certain numbers. The online ones have other ones, too. And
brick and mortar, you always hear about Wheel of Fortune or Monopoly. Mainly because they have so many different versions of those games. So people are just constantly playing them. So I guess it seems like they pay out the most.
I like the fact when you see a Wheel of Fortune machine, it's never the same one twice in a casino.
No.
I remember they announced one that it had like a bank of 3 seats, and then above it was the giant wheel.
Okay.
And you actually, when you won the bonus to spin the wheel, if you were in your individual seat, it was the one above you that spun.
I kind of stay away from those really big ones. I don't know. It's just a little.
I've never played a big cabinet.
I don't know.
I've never.
It's just a little weird. They have them like that reach the ceiling now.
Yes.
I just don't do those things.
Well, again, they're cabinet displays for a reason.
I need
a display.
I need a quiet corner in the gaming floor just to let me do my thing and play my game, and that's all I need. I don't need to be out in front of like some massive cabinet.
Again, if some people like playing the cabinets.
Hey, you know what? It's an amazing sensory experience. Bells and whistles right in front of your face.
And also allows the slot maker and also the casino themselves to actually promote the new games.
Sure,
I mean, you walk into some of these. I remember one of the ones, a couple in Atlantic City, and also even one of the ones up in Massachusetts, Plainridge. You walk in a certain area, and right facing you is a whole bank of new slot machines.
Oh yeah, no, they're against the walls and in the middle, and it's these things are huge now.
Then you have I saw the other ones the other day, the 3D looking ones with like the Wizard of Oz, down the yellow brick road. They actually have almost a 3D looking screen.
I think I saw a big Willy Wonka one.
Yes.
And when I say Willy Wonka, I mean the original Willy Wonka thing.
The Gene Wilder one.
Yeah.
Yes. Not the, what was it, Johnny Depp?
Yeah.
Yes. Was that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or was that Willy Wonka?
I think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
was Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
yes, that was actually the name of the book.
Okay,
okay. But again, we have $1.342 million Wheel of Fortune jackpot at the Golden Gate. Also, staying in Nevada, we've got the Grand Sierra Resort in Reno. Had a royal flush on the jackpot hold'em game. That's a table game out in Reno. There, $76,000 win.
Wow.
No word on what the bet was. No word on what the actual cards were. It just said Royal Flush in the press release. Mm-hmm. It was like a one-line press release.
Okay.
But okay, that's fine. Staying over in Nevada, we've got the El Cortez Hotel and Casino. Matter of fact, I think the El Cortez is holding a anniversary. I think it's like 50 years or something for the El Cortez. They're doing an anniversary. They just got a whole thing redone. They had the carpeting redone. They had everything redone.
Well, I guess after 50 years, you got to freshen it up a little bit.
Well, it actually became iconic.
I'm sure it hasn't been 50 years since they changed the carpet, but
I hope it's not been 50 years since they cleaned the carpet.
Yeah, you want a big facelift at 50.
Yes. But again, according to all the people reporting when they were doing the renovations, the carpeting itself became kind of iconic. The way the design was, it stood out, and people kind of knew what property you were in just by seeing the actual carpeting, which I find that crazy.
Well,
not crazy in a bad sense, but it's amazing that you can actually have a carpeting become iconic.
Yeah, wow. Hey.
But El Cortez reported that 6 players combined for over $74,000 in winnings through the first 3 days of June.
Oh, okay.
Casino also reported that $1.745 million was the payout for the month of May. They had 9 winners winning between $16,000 and $57,780, and 10 winners winning between $10,000 and just under $16,000.
Okay.
So El Cortez must
a good month.
Yeah, had a good month for giving out jackpots, and players did well there. Going over to, let's see, I'll go to Nichols, New York.
Nichols, New York. What's in Nichols, New York?
The Tioga Downs Casino Resort.
Hear a lot about it. Never been.
That's Jeff Corrals.
Okay. All right.
Guest at Tioga
I've never heard of Nichols, New York either. So.
I'd never heard of Nichols. I never knew it was in Nichols.
By the way,
I knew it was in upstate New York.
What a great name for a location for a casino. Nichols, New York.
Nichols just rolls off the tongue there.
Nichols, New York.
A guest started off his weekend right by hitting the jackpot on a Friday afternoon at 3:30 p.m.
Wow, boy.
Yes, started right off.
A happy hour.
And this was another blackjack progressive win. This was actually the Blazing Sevens progressive jackpot. He won a jackpot worth $364,718 on the $5 bet to trigger that progressive side bet.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, we actually have seen this bet win in different places. It's called different things in a different few areas. I know the live properties in Philadelphia and also Pittsburgh both have this game.
Okay.
And I think Encore Boston Harbor has something similar to it. I don't know if they call it the Sizzling or the Blazing Sevens. I think one of them calls it Sizzling Sevens.
Okay. All right.
But again, this is the $5 bet where you take your, your two cards, and you compare the dealer's two cards.
Okay.
And you make a poker hand.
Okay. Yeah, I think we talked about that last week.
Yes.
Okay. Never played it. It sounds like an interesting game.
It's a side bet.
Okay.
You have to do the $5 bet to trigger the progressive Blazing Sevens jackpot bet. The player was dealt 2 7 of diamonds, and then the dealer turned over a 7 of diamonds, thus triggering into jackpot. So it was basically sort of a flush. I guess you can call it that.
Sort of a flush. Okay.
I guess so. I mean, it was only 3 cards.
That's the hand. Sort of a flush. Okay.
Yes. So, the press releases sometimes don't go into every detail of what's going on. So I'm assuming there was another diamonds that the dealer had. So, but it triggered the jackpot. He won $718.
Okay.
We're going to move over. Actually, we're going to stay. I just mentioned the live casinos. We've got 2 jackpots in the live casinos in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. That one's in Pittsburgh and one's in Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh, one in Philly. We've got the Memorial Day Weekend Madness promotion that they were running. And as you can tell, this is part of Memorial Day Weekend. One person hit a jackpot in Philly. One person hit a jackpot in Pittsburgh.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Tricia C. won $45,148 at Live Pittsburgh. And the anonymous winner in Philly hit for $34,100. Each of them became the 4th jackpot winner of the Mystery Progressive Slot Program that's going on at both properties.
Okay.
They don't know what they're going to win. It starts at $10,000.
I was going to ask you, what's the mystery? You just don't know.
They don't know the jackpot.
You don't know what the jackpot size is.
You don't know what the jackpot is.
All right.
So it starts at $10,000 and can go up to $50,000, no more than $50,000.
Okay.
So somebody's going to hit it between $10,000 and $50,000. Don't know when they're going to hit it. Don't know what the amount is, but it can't go more than $50,000. Can't go less than $10,000.
Okay.
You're guaranteed something. And also, what happens when somebody hits this progressive jackpot? They've got a 1 hour worth of free slot play to everyone playing on the floor.
Oh, so that's everyone who's on the floor
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
Wow, that's great.
So that's actually kind of a very interesting promotion they're doing there. And congratulations to those 2 winners. We're going to end this segment talking about the Michigan Lottery. We haven't done a Michigan Lottery story in a while.
What lottery did we have last? Was it Virginia Lottery?
We did Virginia Lottery the last couple of times.
Okay.
There have been a lot of winners in Virginia, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it seemed like every week.
And I think before that, every state has its own different version of the lottery, whether it's online or brick and mortar. This one is a actual brick and mortar lottery win. I guess you can call it that. Retail lottery win, not the online.
Okay. Someone actually went into a store or a restaurant or a pub. Okay, good.
A pub. And this Michigan man won twice in a month.
Twice in a month.
In a month.
Did he buy the tickets at the same pub?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well, that's a great pub.
$1.3 million total win.
Wow.
He won the $995,231 Club Keno The Jack prize.
Okay.
On April 20th. He bought it at the Main Street Pub. And I'd be happy winning $95,000 as well.
What do you do if you're like wanting $95,000 in the middle of a bar? You just jump up and scream. Do they? I wonder if they have security cameras in the bar. If they can show the guy winning $95,000.
See, the question I have is, do they actually tell you how much you won?
I don't know. Well, certainly the bar doesn't have $95,000 to pay out to them.
I'm talking about in terms of when they see the readout.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it say you won 95, or does it say contact your local lottery agent?
Well, since you told me he won $1.3 million in a month, and he only won $95,000 in this time, so he won huge the next time, right?
He came back almost a month later on May 13th, same pub.
I would have been back the next day.
Yeah, right.
So,
but a Main Street Pub again.
All right.
And he was sitting there. He decided to go ahead and play some more Keno. So he bought the same. He did a fast cash ticket, which is their quick pick kind of thing.
Okay.
And the jackpot was high, according to the guy's friend who was sitting next to him in the bar.
Okay.
He said, "Go ahead, buy some." So he bought some, and he decided to play. He looked them over right away, and he saw that the 3 jackpot symbols on the same row had shown up on his ticket.
Wow. Okay.
So what he did was he got up, got his phone out, scanned the ticket. By the way, these apps are great to know these
Scan
things.
the ticket. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he scanned the ticket with his lottery app. These were scratchers.
Okay.
And when he saw the amount come up on the screen, the app actually told him how much he won.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if the actual machines in the pub actually would tell him how much he won.
See, that's a professional lottery player. If you have an app on your phone for your lottery play, that's kind of
everywhere
interesting.
now.
I guess so.
I mean, I wonder.
I never even would think to download an app for lottery.
Well, if you're doing on Jackpocket.
Well, Jackpocket, yeah,
Yes.
but if you're doing a scratcher, and you I guess it's it's an app that tells you
Has
if
a
you
barcode.
won
Yeah,
as
has
a
a barcode.
barcode.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't even know to download something like that.
And I know some tickets, depending on where you're getting them, have like the QR code on them too.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, everything has a QR code.
Yeah.
now.
So, but again, he scanned it, and according to the press release, he turned to his friend and said, "You're not going to believe this," and it was a $1.27 million win.
Wow.
On this ticket.
Unbelievable.
So the Main Street Pub is the place to go in Michigan.
Yeah, where is this? I'm checking this out. What is
Located at 4514 West Main Street in Kalamazoo.
Wow, there you go. Check out the Main Street Pub.
They just gave out 1.3, or they didn't do it, but the lottery through them gave out $1.3 million.
Next time I'm in Michigan, I'm going to the, what is this, Main Street Pub in Kalamazoo.
Now, the one question I have is, how much do they get? Is it 5% or
I don't
10%?
know. I don't.
They didn't say how much the pub got.
You're going to have to check with the Michigan Lottery
Every
Commission.
place is different.
Every
place does it differently.
Yeah.
And, that's why a lot of these places do the retail lottery.
Yeah.
They get those commission sales.
If someone wins, you get some money.
Exactly. Not only do they get, I think, a chunk of the actual ticket sale, but they get a bounty. On the winning tickets. So, but that's it for this week's Beating the House. Again, congratulations to all our winners, casinos, lotteries, sports books, and bingo parlors. Please send in your press releases, and we'll keep doing these segments. We're learning about some of these games, and actually now we're learning about some of the pubs out there that are actually giving out winning tickets. So,
definitely.
Looking forward to seeing some more of these. So that's it for this week.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll talk to you later on House of Cards.
Tried to swallow